Hello everyone, I'm Rachel Tessman from stampyourartout.com, and today we have another live paper crafting class. Yay! All right, I'm gonna just push some little buttons here. I want to make sure that I've got the comments coming in. Hopefully I'm in the right place. We are broadcasting live on, what day is it today? It is October 30th. Can you believe it? It's already October 30th, you guys. November, right around the corner. Tomorrow is Halloween. I have kids, so we are definitely in Halloween mode at our house. Hi, Catherine, and there's Cheryl. Thanks. All right, awesome. I must be in the right place. I'm seeing some familiar names. So we have a live paper crafting class going on right now. It is Wednesday, October 30th, 2019, and we are on my Facebook page, and I want to make sure that I've got that pulled up there. Oh, that's the wrong one. The wrong overlay. Anyways, I'm Rachel Tessman from stampyourartout.com. Let me show you this one here. This is where you're at. You are on Stamp Your Art Out with Rachel. There's Tiffany. Hi, Tiffany. Awesome. So if you are trying to figure out how to get back here later on, just know to go to Stamp Your Art Out with Rachel. That's my Facebook page. Okay, I'm going to take those things off here. Anyways, I have a fun card to share. I love sharing, and this card is simpler than normal. It's not a fun fold. Oh my gosh, it's not a fun fold. But it is really cool in that I'm going to do some heat embossing with it. I'm going to show you how to stretch paper again. I did a card a while ago where I stretched it I don't know. I don't even remember what the dimensions were. I think it was 4x4. Anyways, we stretched it in a kind of a diagonal kind of look. And today we're just gonna stretch it a different way. But basically we're making a paper layer look like it's a little bit larger. Hey, Vicki. Awesome. So we're gonna do heat embossing that, and I'm gonna share some new stuff. We have some new stuff coming up on November 1st, available to all. Right now it's only available to demonstrators. A perk for being a demonstrator. But before we get started, hey, Stephanie finally caught me live. Hi, Stephanie. But before we get started, I want to talk about prizes and how this stuff works here. So during a live broadcast, I share and you guys comment, and when you comment and you share the broadcast and you tell me you shared and you tell me about yourself, let me get to know you. Any kind of comment basically gets you entered into a prize drawing. And yay, we draw one live at the end of the broadcast, and then we also draw after the following week. So whoever doesn't see this live, if you're on YouTube or Facebook and you're catching it later and you comment, then you get to be entered into the next prize drawing, which I do the following week. Good morning, Yara. Awesome. I can see some familiar names. This is so fun. Cheryl says, I can hear. There must have been somebody who can't hear. I'm sorry about that. Oh no, Laura's saying no sound. I am getting lots of comments that were okay, so I'm just gonna keep going. Now I don't have sound or visual. You know what, everything's fine on my end, you guys. I don't see anything going on, so I'm hoping if it's just a few people that it's just on your own end. If I keep hearing that there's lots of people having issues, I will stop and restart. How does that sound? But we're gonna move on. So tell me where you're from. Tell me if you can't hear me. Okay, so let's go to the computer. Let's do that. Let's set that up so you can see what I'm gonna share. I'm gonna try to make my picture just a little bit smaller today than normal. Hopefully that helps some of you. I think that's a little bit smaller. Oh, thanks, Pat. She says she likes my scarf. I wore a scarf today. So here we have the Christmastime Sweetly Swirled project that I'm going to share today. Nancy says it's okay. You know what? I'm going to keep going then. It sounds like a lot of you can hear me. So those of you that can't, hopefully you can just watch the replay later. Measurements. We have 4 different papers or designer papers that we're going to do. We have Mossy Meadow cardstock. That's going to be the base of our card. Whisper White's going to be an accent color, and so is Cherry Cobbler. And then we have some beautiful Christmas Time is Here paper. We're going to start with a 4x4 piece, and I'm going to show you that piece in different patterns too. So hopefully, if you want to recreate this card later, you can take and apply it to any 4x4 section of that paper. Awesome, thanks. Kathy's confirming that she can hear me too. Awesome. Yay. All right. The gold shimmer ribbon, I put down 13 to 14 inches because I'm going to use the last of my strand on my roll. And I don't know how much is on there. I'm hoping it's enough. I love this stuff. I used it all up. Other supplies, Sweetly Swirled stamp set. I'm not using the Christmastime, the stamp set that's coordinating with it because I didn't get it yet. I know, it's coming though. It's just not here. But the Sweetly Swirled stamp set works really well with this, this layout. And it doesn't make it an actual Christmas card. It makes it more like just a winter card. So even though it's called Christmastime is Here paper, you don't have to use it just at Christmas time. Hey Kathy, I'm glad that you joined. Yay. Early Espresso ink and Versamark ink. We're going to use two different inks, and then we're going to use an embossing powder because again I mentioned that we're going to use some heat embossing during this. And so along with that we're going to need a heat tool, and we're going to need something called an embossing buddy. That really helps out too. Hopefully I'll remember to use it. And then on the bottom here, after all these other tools and adhesives listed here, I do have listed the Stamp and Scrub, the Stamp and Mist. Those two go together. And then I have a Simply Chamois listed there. I forget to mention, or I don't always mention, how I clean my stamps. But because this card is geared towards everybody and anybody, it's kind of a wow card, but beginners can do it. I want to show some of those tools that are helpful to have, okay? All right, awesome, awesome, awesome. So let's go to my desktop. Here we go. Look, it's different. And there's some shadows in there. I'm sorry about that. I don't know how to get rid of that. I don't know if it's just because my desktop is lighter today, that the shadows are more noticeable, but I'll try to figure out something. Anyways, I'm just gonna, there we go. Now I can see it on my camera too. All right. I did it so I could match my shirt. No, I'm kidding. I did it because the cardstock that we're going to be using is not going to look real good against a brown background. So I have a different desktop surface today. Let's show you. I didn't get a new desk. No, I cheated. I have some tiles on it. Okay. So I'm going to show you the designer paper. This is, you know what, it looks really good against the light gray, doesn't it? Let's zoom in just a tad here. Oops, I'm doing the wrong thing. Hang on, I have to work my preview camera over on the left here. Okay, there we go. Now I can zoom in. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Oh, I'm so sorry, Susan. This is so weird, you guys, because I'm not having any issues on this end. And I'm hoping, there's quite a few of you that are having issues. I wonder if it's a Facebook thing today. These are the designer papers in the pack. And you'll notice that there's only 3 designs. They are double-sided, like all the designer papers. But instead of 6, we have 3. So you actually get 4 sheets of each of these. That way it ends up, you know, having 12 still in the pack. But these 4 sheets of each make it so that you can do more mass producing. Like if you wanted to use them for Christmas cards or whatever, you can use them for mass producing because you've got more sheets of each. So very pretty. You can see they're foiled, kind of a gold foil look on one side and not on the other side, but some nice subtle softer prints on the other side. Okay, we're going to set this aside for a minute. We're going to pull out the 4x4 pieces that I've already cut. So I've got these 4 pieces here, and the reason why I cut a few of them is because you'll notice they're all different, okay? These papers all look different when you cut your 12x12 paper into 9 pieces. So you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 will create a 12x12 sheet. So you can get plenty of cards out of one pack if you use 4x4 papers instead of say 4x, I don't know, 5 or whatever, because the card that I'm going to show you after I cut these, you will see that it looks like I could have used a bigger piece, but I didn't, okay? So let's start cutting these. Now, I'm not going to cut them all the same. If you saw, in fact, here, we'll go back to that. Sorry, there we go. If you saw this here, it says cut into 2 pieces where design accommodates. Okay, all right, so let's go back to the desktop. So design accommodates. So basically what I'm looking for when I'm looking at this paper is I'm saying to myself, if I were to cut it, say, an inch in or an inch and a half in, where would it look best? Now I could cut it here. I could cut it here. I think I'm going to cut it here, about an inch and a half in. And basically what I'm doing is I'm dividing two images on the paper. Okay? Now I can take and just stretch those out, and it still has the main design showing, even if I put, say, a little sentiment piece over the top of them. Okay, so I cut this one in 1.5 and 2.5 inches, and that equals 4. Okay, this one here though, look at it, smack dab in the middle. So this is what I recommend. I recommend looking to see where you have kind of a clean look on two different sides. And I kind of like these two sides, believe it or not. So I'm going to cut going this way, and I think I'm going to cut it probably maybe like, I don't know, I'll cut it right there. So I'm going to cut it at 1.5 also. So watch, I'm cutting through the design. Okay, now this is what I'm going to do on this card. I'm going to flip them, and I'm going to put my sentiment piece here so that I still see most of my design. Okay, here we'll flip that around so you can see how that's laid out. Okay, on this one, same kind of thing, but I think I'm going to cut it just an inch in. So I'm going to cut there, and I'm going to flip these two around. So you can see I still have saved a mass load of that design, that main design, but I have it cut so that it's still stretched it out. So I can either cut through the design and separate it like I did this way, or I could cut a portion. Okay, so on my blog on Saturday, because you guys are getting confused, right? On my blog on Saturday, you're going to see a whole bunch of these cards. This is the finished design that we have, okay? And you're going to see a whole bunch of them, so you're going to see the different ways that the papers can lay out. Because I made a huge amount of these and then sent them out to demonstrators in my group. But now that you see the finished design, let's go ahead and put this card together. All right, sometimes I don't show the finished design beforehand, but I wanted to show you how that works. I think I'm going to use these two pieces, so we'll save those. Let's cut the base part of our card. Hey, Jill. All right, this cardstock is 8.5 by 11. And we're going to cut it in half this direction. So we're going to go to 4.25 inches. Grab our cutting blade, which is the darker blade. Our new trimmer. You guys, I got to tell you this too. This is coming out November 1st. If you didn't hear the news before, I think it's only been a week that we've known, but we didn't know that this trimmer would be available to all right away after the demonstrators had a pre-order period in October. So demonstrators have this in their hands, and Stampin' Up! Said, you know what, it's good to go. So they're making it available to everyone November 1st. The refill blades are not available yet, but don't worry about that because you're not going to need them for a while. And those are getting shipped in as soon as Stampin' Up! Can get them. But the new trimmer is coming. Yay! All right, now that I've cut my paper into 2 halves, I'm going to just use one of them so you can save the other one for another card. Let's rotate this one and let's trim it, because I did say on the measurements that we're going to trim it to 10.25 inches. So we want to have a little bit come off of this, and you can see we have an extendable arm. Yay! So we're going to go to 10.25, and we're going to slice that off. We don't need this piece. Save it for something else though. You crazy paper saver people know that we never throw away scraps, right? Okay, and then this is going to get scored at 5.5. Now normally 5.5 is half of 11. So we're doing half of 11, but we notice that our paper is not 11 inches, and that's okay. We want that little gap over here. Remember, we had that little gap. So, because that shows off a little decorative piece that kind of peeks out of the card. So there's that piece ready to go. Our Whisper White 3x4 is ready to go. Our Whisper White Scrap, which we're going to do next, is ready to go. And our 2 cherry cobbler pieces. This is such a beautiful red. These colors, by the way, are in the designer paper, Mossy Meadow and Cherry Cobbler. And they even mention Poppy Parade in here. Can you imagine that nice bright red with the cherry cobbler? So pretty. Okay, let's keep these two pieces. Let's set this off to the side, and I'm going to grab my stamps now. This is the Sweetly Swirled stamp set. I hope you're all making a comment at one point during this broadcast because it's going to enter you into the prize, the prize drawing. Okay, Sweetly Swirled. I know, it's not Christmas, is it? It's kind of like an all occasion. It has kind of like a wow, you're awesome card. Thank you, love you. You really missed. Oh, hey, lots of different sentiments. And then some just fun little designs, some floral kinds of designs and just some shape designs. So I thought this one was awesome with this paper because, let me grab it here again. Oops. Because this paper has kind of that line look to it, kind of a swirly look in the roses and stuff. I ended up not doing the swirl image of the stamps right in here, but I think it coordinates pretty darn well. So we're gonna open this up, and you'll notice I've already pulled some stamps out of it. This is how photopolymer stamps come. They come between two sheets of plastic. One of them is totally clear, and the other one has printed designs on it. And you can see I've already pulled off some pieces from here. Those stamps are already mounted onto clear blocks. If you're a beginning crafter, you want to have a few clear blocks ready to go. And basically, if you're a total beginning crafter, paper crafter, you just need a block for the largest shape. And when you're shopping in the online store or the catalog, it does suggest block sizes. Just pick the largest one if you can't get all of them at once. So this is how you mount them. You take your stamp, you put it on your table so that the flat side is up, and you press your block down onto it. I recommend pressing your block down diagonally so that you're not relying on the edges of your block when you're stamping. If you try to mount it on there straight, what happens kind of subconsciously is you're looking at the block edges, and if you don't get it on there straight, you're going to mess up your card. So don't do that. But on this card, it really doesn't matter because we're going to stamp it and die cut it. In fact, let's die cut first to show you the beauty of photopolymer, which is what this kind of stamp is. We're going to show you the beauty of photopolymer stamps, okay? We're getting all our stamps set to the side, and I'm going to bring in a tool. It's a tool that we no longer carry, but we're coming out with a new die cutting machine soon. This is called the Big Shot. It's by Sizzix. And if you don't have a die cutting machine, you can either wait to see what Stampin' Up's going to come out with, or you can borrow your friends. Okay, so here's what we need. We need what the Big Shot or the die cutting machine came with, a platform, and then your two cutting mats. And look at, I have a fresh new mat. So pretty. The scratched up one I'm going to put at the bottom because I'm actually going to die cut it with the paper first and then the die on top. The dies that we're using are called the Stitched Shapes Framelets. And what's fun about these is that they have a little stitching on the inside. Let's show you that finished card again so you can see. So you can see there's this faux stitch mark all the way around. It looks like it's actually been stitched. We're going to use this size because we're doing a smaller sentiment. We're making one that's slightly different. You just put your die on top of the paper, or you can do it this way too. A lot of people have experienced better pressure this way, but you can't always see where you're die cutting. So this way works as well. And because this is my non-cutting side, I'm going to put my really, really pretty clear mat on there. And you'll notice after I use my clear mat that, and listen to the cracking. There's a little cracking there. That's okay. That's normal. But you'll notice that I actually, ooh, on this one you can't see it too badly, but there's a little imprint on there. Yeah, you can't see it now. That's okay. It's not on there yet. But after a time, your mats are going to get used up, and that's totally okay. All right, so here is our paper, and it's die cut already. It's like we punched it, only we didn't. There it is. So pretty. Let's set this behind me. I think I'm going to put everything behind me because it's too far to stretch over there. All right, we've got that set up. Stitched Shapes dies. They're so fun. These are our stamp pads, and our stamp pads have kind of a fun way of opening them. They're like a compact. You basically either can press here and it'll pop up the end. Thank you, Connie Stewart, for that tip. Or you can take and just lift, okay? And once you lift it, you see the ink is on this side. You're just gonna slide it into the base. You can keep it open too. You can totally keep it open. But that's how you set it up on your table. You grab your stamp. You just press it lightly because this kind of ink is on a firm foam type of pad. So if you press down really hard, you're gonna get your whole block filled with juicy early espresso ink. It's gonna be completely brown. So see, look at this. You can go right over the top. Here, let's zoom in. You can go right over the top of your paper and you can see through it. Photopolymer, gotta love it. We're doing a love you card. All right, so that is done. We're gonna keep these stamps available, but we're not gonna use this ink with it. We only used early espresso on that portion of the card because it's one of the coordinating colors of the paper. But the rest of the inks we're gonna use, or the rest of the stamps, we're gonna use with Versamark ink. It's snowing. Wait, who said that? It's Angela, it's snowing in Colorado. Wow. I was hearing, my husband is the one who pays attention to all the news going on, and he kind of tells me here and there, like fires in California, all that stuff. I'm sorry about that. Jeepers creepers. But yeah, he was saying that there's parts that are already getting snow. Fun. Maybe? I don't know. Okay, so we're gonna now take and, what are we doing? We're gonna emboss. Embossing is next. Embossing, you guys, it's so easy, so fun. I have to tell you a funny story though, okay? So I'm gonna refer you back to my blog for just a minute at stampyourartout.com. If you guys go and visit there today, here, we'll turn that the right way. If you go and visit there, you're gonna see some art that my youngest son is working on. He did a whole pencil drawing and then he outlined it with black felt tip marker, and then he wanted Copic markers, and I said, hey, I have alcohol-based markers in my craft room. So I took out the blends markers and I let him try them, and he's now in love, and he bugs me every single day about getting him a whole set of markers. I said, do you know how much that's gonna cost? so it's on the Christmas list now, some Copic, in the meantime, or not Copic markers, sorry, my stuff, blends, Stampin' Blends. They're the same thing basically, and they're much easier to use. You don't need like a whole scientific chart to figure them out. So yes, he will be getting some, but in the meantime, he's using my blends. So, and why did I bring up that story? Because he stole this pad of paper. This was like 3 times as thick. And because he needs to have paper underneath when he colors so it doesn't soak through onto the table. And so I'm fine. I mean, I love that he's getting into crafting now, but he's taking over my stuff. This is all I have left. So I have to buy more. Okay, we're gonna only stamp on this little tiny strip. This is Cherry Cobbler. It's a tiny 3/4 inch by 4 inch strip of paper. Before we start, we want to grab our embossing buddy. This here is a fun little pillow that's got some powder in it, and basically it just takes away any fingerprint kind of thing. You can see the powder on there, and that's okay. But what happens is you've got oils in your fingers, and so by rubbing this across your surface, it's going to take away any oils that have been soaked into the paper that are going to catch the embossing powder. So yes, embossing 101 again. We're going to bring in the Versamark ink. Versamark is a clear, sticky ink that doesn't dry right away. And let's see, we're going to make sure it coordinates with our papers here that we're setting up. So if we're going to have our paper, how are we going to do our paper? I think I had it like this. You know what, I might keep it like that. That looks good that way too. And I think I'm gonna put my sentiment up here on my card. I gotta kind of look here. Oh, I love it there. Okay, so we're gonna do it there. So that means I'm gonna have my little leaves come out the top here next to this cluster. So we're just gonna use this as a guide so we know where to stamp those leaves. So we're gonna ink up our stamp. You just pounce it up and down and we stamp it. And you're gonna see like a clear, you can barely see it in there. Oh, here, let me take that away. You can barely see that in there, but it's there, and it's clear and it's sticky, and it's going to add some fun to our card. So we're doing this with a few different images from that stamp set. I think I'm going to throw another leaf in there. By the way, Versamark ink can also just be like tone on tone. So if I didn't put this embossing buddy on there, you wouldn't see that powdery surface there, but it would just deepen the color of the cardstock. So now that we've got that clear sticky ink there, we're going to open up our embossing powder. And I just transferred my embossing powder into like a little plastic container. And I'm going to grab my tiny little spoon. I love tiny little spoons. And we're just going to sprinkle this on. And the powder is not sticking anywhere but where I put the ink, because my my moisture, my oils, you know, whatever was in my skin did not grab any of that powder. Okay, the next step. Oh, in here. There, got to get the powder onto the floor. The next step is to grab your heat tool. So I have a heat tool here, and I'm not going to talk while it's on because this gets kind of loud. I mean, it's not super loud, but it's loud enough where it would be like really distracting. But there's an on-off button, and it actually has two different settings. It has a low and a high setting. I just turned it to high. I don't know. Do not ever put this against your skin. Don't blow dry your hair with it. It's super hot heat, and it can burn you very, very fast. So keep it aimed away from you. Like for this, I'm going to aim it this way. In fact, I'm going to cover up my ink pad here. Okay, so I'm going to aim it kind of at an angle away from my hands, like that. All right, here we go. Watch the magic. It's coming. Oh, there it goes. So pretty. Now you can overheat, so don't do that. Let it cool a little bit, and then you can wipe off any excess powder that's on there. We'll set that aside for a minute. All right. I'm still seeing comments that people don't have audio. I'm so sorry about that, you guys, but I know that there's plenty of people who are still hanging in there. Julie says, Happy All Hallows Eve. I love it. Yeah, you know, as a mom of kids, I am definitely celebrating Halloween at our house. It's been fun. All right, so we're going to add adhesive. This is called snail adhesive. It's pretty easy to apply. You just push, pull, and lift. And we're going to add that to this half of the front of the card. We're leaving 1/8 of an inch all the way around. And then this piece is going to go on this portion, like that. Now see, I have a little river going through, and that's okay because that's where our ribbon comes in. And I told you I was on the last piece of my ribbon, so I'm going to take the tape off the end here. This is called our gold shimmer ribbon. It's 1/4 of an inch wide. Hey, let me show you this really quick. I got to pull it up. Make sure I'm there. Oh, here it is. This is it. Okay. So that's not what you want to see. Hang on, guys. Hang on. There. Okay. This is the flyer that shows the different products in this Christmastime is Here suite. And I just want to point them out as I'm showing them off to you. These are the gold glitter enamel dots. I'm going to show those to you today. The gold shimmer ribbon. You can see the pricing for US is in there. There's some dies that coordinate with a stamp set as I scroll up. Here's the Christmastime is Here paper. You can even get this beautiful rose gold, or not rose, sorry, not rose gold. It's a gold bracelet with a rose on it. If you buy well, you can get the whole suite together, or you can buy the bracelet separately too. But here's the stamp set, and it actually has 2 different kinds of stamps in it. These let's see here. Let me make sure I'm saying this right. Yeah, this one here is a photopolymer stamp. It's totally clear. And these are called cling stamps. And no, wait, I think reverse that. Hang on. This one is the photo. This one's the cling. This one's the cling. See, I don't have it yet, so I don't have this memorized. This is the cling one. You stamp your outline with the one that you don't see through, but it has a real detailed look to it because it is a cling stamp. It's rubber. These are photopolymer and they are see-through. So you can line those up over the top of this image and do some really fun, cool looks. And so you can get the stamp set, which is the 2 different boxes plus the dies in a bundle and save 10%. Or you can get the whole suite all at once, which includes that 10% savings on the bundle. So fun, fun, fun. Just wanted to show those to you. We're back to crafting. So here's my piece of ribbon. Normally I would tie the ribbon onto the front like this, but I'm gonna flip it and tie it on the inside. And we can adjust it later. So I'm just gonna tie a knot. Right over left, that's how I work. Right over left, take the right one, bend it, bring it down. Okay, so now my top one, or my one that came in from the right, is coming down and through. This one on my right hand now, which came from the left, is going to fold up the other way. So I kind of twisted both of them so that they're folded, okay, and that just makes it a nice secure. And now I'm using my ring finger to hold it down, and I'm going to take my top one and go from the left and go across this one that I kind of brought up. So the bottom one comes up, the top one comes down, and I cross them over this way. Top comes around, it's going to the right, and it's going to go through the hole. Oops, sorry. I was talking too long. It's going to go through the hole, which is right through here, and I bent it. I folded it in half again, but this one I'm not going to fold in half. I'm just going to pull straight, and that's how I get that look. Then you can take paper snips that's really sharp. I keep at least 2. I have more than 2. But I keep at least 2 scissors. One of them is for my ribbon, and I indicate that by putting a little ribbon on it. Never cut paper with this one. Paper will dull your scissors, your snips. And then the other ones I can use towards paper. So see, now I can shift this. I can move it around by just kind of bowing or bowing. Bowing, what's the word? Flexing. There, we're moving the paper, kind of arching it, and then we can shift the ribbon where we want it to go. We can even shift it in this direction or that direction, depending, okay? So now there's another great idea for you guys. Okay, this piece is gonna come off the side here, so we're gonna add that now, like this. Oh, we forgot to press the powder off of it. I'll do that in a minute. There we go. Much better. And then this piece is going to go right next to it like that. These are all 4 inches high. Okay, that piece is going to go right next to it here. And then if you do have any overlap, you can kind of either make this one go over the top or the white one go over the top. But I have the measurements so that if you do it exactly and you're really good at cutting, you should have 1/8 of an inch all the way around with all of these pieces flush right up next to each other. I'm kind of liking my gray background, you guys. It's so bright and cheerful. I'm so happy. All right, there's the inside of the card. The outside, let's finish that up. This is going to go up on, oops, I'm grabbing stuff here. This is going to go up on dimensionals. I forgot to clean off my stamps. I'll show you that. Remind me. How many packs of the glitter, how many packs of the glitter dots come with the package deal? 1 pack. The full pack looks like, I don't have do I have a full pack? I do have a full pack. The full pack looks like this. So there's lots of them in there. 2 sets of this, basically. They're kind of up and hidden in there. There's a lot. How many are there? 160. And I read that without my reading glasses on. Okay, so I'm going to put dimensionals, 1 on each side. Because this way, if I have to adjust my ribbon later, I totally can. So I've got my dimensionals, 1 on each side. Peel off the release paper. And we're going to position that up in here like that. And then we're going to grab, this is all I have left of my personal stash right now. I love them. I have gone through them a lot. We're just going to add some to our fun little card here. And yes, I'm picking them off with my fingernails, but if you want to use a tool, you could do that. I find that these little guys, the glimmer dots, work better for me if I do them with my fingernails. I don't know why. There is that finished card. And let me zoom out just a tad so we can bring in the other one. You can see them side by side. So see, they're not Christmassy. They're using Christmastime products, but they're not Christmassy. I forgot to share with you some cleanup products. This is the chamois. The chamois, and I'm going to do it with the brown ink here. The chamois, you just go like that. And so basically you get this big sheet. It's bigger than this. I cut mine down into quarters. So you get like 4 times the size of this. And you get it wet, and then you clean off your stamp, and then you go wring this out and you use it the next time. It's a great portable way to clean off your stamps. If you're someone like me who has like a crafting space and you want to just keep everything handy, you can just have your scrub and mist sitting, your Stamp and Scrub and your mist sitting out. This is an older bottle. I don't even know if they make them look like this anymore. I think I just keep refilling mine. But you spray one side and you keep the other side dry. And then you take your stamps. So I'll grab these here. And you scrub and you dry. Just like that. Wash and dry. Someone said once, it's the cheapest washer dryer you're ever going to have. So that's how you clean off your stamps. There. I am really not good at doing that in front of you guys. Sorry about that. But yes, it's done off camera. It's so easy. Bone folder, what did I put that on the list for? For just making some extra strong creases here. Okay, it just kind of helps to flatten your card down, make it lie flatter. We have to draw for prizes. Oh, I know what I didn't use. You guys, I forgot this. This here, the Stampin' Pierce mat, this is great for using underneath your photopolymer stamps. When I have larger stamps, I totally remember to use this. The smaller ones, I forget. But basically what it does is it gives it a good cushion underneath so that you get your full image when you're stamping. So you would put your paper down. Let's say I'm going to stamp on this for some reason. Then you would put your stamp, you'd ink it up, and you'd stamp it right on top. It just creates a nice cushion that gives you a real complete image, okay? Did I forget anything else? I hope not. All right, so let's go back to, because I want to share with you prizes. So there's the cards again if you want to take a quick little camera shot of them. I'll zoom in a bit here. Yay! Aren't they fun? And here's the inside. Okay, so prizes. So for this week, I have a choice for the winner that I draw. Sorry, they're all over in the corner here. Here's the choice. You can either get a fun little half pack of those gold glitter enamel dots and some of the gold shimmer ribbon. I think this is, I want to say this is a half a roll, but don't quote me on that yet because I haven't, I think it was a half a roll. So yes, a half a roll of that and a half a sheet of that. Fun. Or if you're the winner, you can pick some, like let's say you already have this because maybe you're a demonstrator or whatever. You can pick glittery enamel dots that are in the multicolors or the Christmas ones, the 12 hiding glitter enamel dots. So lots of glittery enamel dots today. Now if you are remembering last week's broadcast, I did have prizes for that. And these two are the ones that haven't been chosen yet. So we're going to first draw for our last week's video, which was when I did that magnolia. I turned it into a Christmastime card and it was an easel card, blends coloring, all that fun stuff. Anyway, so we're going to draw from the comments of the YouTube video from that, the recording, and then the FaceTime. So we have 2 winners to pick for that first, and then the winners from the, oops, I'm sorry, I'm trying to set this up here. Hang on. Hold on. Okay, I'm not doing well on this. Oh, there, that's what I have to push. Okay, there we go. All right, I'm gonna bring this to you guys now. There, now you're on my computer. So we're gonna draw for a couple winners, and let's see here. This is, let's refresh the page. I wanna make sure that we've gotten anybody who commented in the last half hour so that they are eligible for the prize. And we're gonna click on videos, and we're gonna go to last week's video first. So we're cheering for 3 winners today. You guys ready for this? Yay! I can look up and see comments again. Kay's with me again. Hi, Kay. All right, awesome, awesome. Let's grab the link from last week. The Magnolia Lane turned Christmas. That's what it's called. Grab the link, bring it into our comment picker. How many comments did we have that we get to choose from? By the way, if you comment a zillion times, it only still gets you entered once. So, just keep that in mind. But I do love to hear comments or see comments. So if you don't just comment once just because you think I only want you to comment once. Comment as many times as you want to. Okay, we have 199 people to choose from. Yay! Let's click start and see who won from the week-long commenters. Letta Blakely. Congratulations to Letta. So she gets to pick from those 2 prizes, the Hoot Hoot Hooray or the rhinestones with the clear block. And then let's go to the YouTube recording, and we're going to grab the link from that and put that into our comment picker and get YouTube. Oh, we had 86 people. Wow, that's pretty good for YouTube, by the way. I don't get that many commenters on YouTube usually. 86. Crazy. Crazy. Who's the winner from that, from our YouTubers? Jean Maxwell. Yay. Now, I'm going to try to reach out to the winners, but it's tough for me sometimes to do that. You have 2 weeks. I'm going to put your name on the prizes, and you have 2 weeks to reach out to me. By the way, if my Facebook winner does not get in touch with me before Jean does, Jean gets to pick, just so you know. Okay. All right. Then we're going to pick from today's broadcast. So, are you guys ready? Drum roll. All right, Christmastime. Copy the link. This is what we're doing, guys. We're drawing a winner from today's live. How many people commented during today's live? You get to pick from those glittery things. Oh, 132 of you. Awesome. Thanks for commenting. I love it. I love it. I love it. And the winner, the first winner is Edna Erickson. I know her well. She just came to Demos Galore. She signed up as a demonstrator just recently. In fact, I want to tell you guys about that. If you find that your wish list for products is huge, you want to probably get the starter kit, and that might have been the case for Edna. So get the starter kit because it's the best way to get a lot of products for less, up to $125 worth of product for $99. You save shipping because there's no shipping charge on it, and you just pay tax. Plus you get business supplies in there for free in case you want to do anything with this as a business, and you get an extra paper pumpkin kit. They just pick one for you, random. So fun little goodies, all for just $99 plus tax. That is the best deal all year round. If you are a demonstrator or you already have a demonstrator, please order through them. But if you are not lined up with anybody, I invite you to shop for products on my page at stampyourart.com. I have a whole bunch of buttons there where you can find the shop button. I think you can even find a shop button on my Facebook page. So yes, congrats to the winners. Now, talking about next week and actually the week after, I have some really fun stuff coming up. These were make and takes that I did with my demonstrator group this past month, earlier in the month, and I'm going to now share them in Facebook Live because I want to walk you through them. One of them is kind of bringing an old idea back, so it's an oldie but a goodie, but it's with some of our newer products, and I'll just give you a hint. The plaid paper pretty much told me I had to do this kind of a card. So there, sit on that for a week. And then the week after that, I took a design that some demonstrator, I'll know her name by the time I share this with you because I forgot it, but some demonstrator on her blog shared this idea in a larger format, which looks great in a large format, but I wanted to bring it down to size for a medium-sized card. So I rearranged the measurements, taking her fold idea, and we're going to share that in 2 weeks. So I hope that you keep coming back to these live paper crafting classes because I'm having fun. I hope you're having fun. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything. I think I've got it all. Next week is November 6th. So I hope you all have a fun and safe Halloween. Same time, same place next week, 11 a.m. Central Time. And so now I'd like you all to go and stamp your art out. How many of you said that with me this time? All right, bye everyone.